Right then, my view on the afternoon out at Oakwell. Was a good day out because we got the 3 points. If we hadn't got the 3 points, it would have been a massive waste of time and money, I think. The football on show for 80 of the 90 minutes was absolutely horrendous. First half was one of the worst I've watched. From both sides, just no quality, nothing, just nothingness. You could have done anything for that 45 minutes and it'd have been better served than what we were watching. Smattering of quality from Mousse, Osborne and the likes in that 10-minute period, which we probably should have scored more, being honest. But yeah, defensively suspect again for the entire game. I think it was Ben Davies' worst game for us. I've been quite a fan of him since he's come, but really suspect defensively. A lot of errors, and putting him at the side of Ender Stevens, who's been a shadow of his former self for well over a year now. It only goes one way, really, doesn't it? And yeah, they're one of the worst teams I've seen, certainly in the Championship. And yeah, they've managed to bag 2 against us. So something's got to change there. We've got to man up a bit, just properly defend like we used to. I mean, the success we've had over recent years, it's been based on a defensive solidity that we just don't have anymore. We're just a bit of we've got a weak underbelly, and we're conceding far too easily. Trying to pick the positives out, you look at Ndai and Osborne and Mousse when he's firing, all right going forward in periods. But yeah, there was times yesterday where we broke the press and then we'd just do something stupid and lose the ball anyway. So yeah, as far as game plan goes, it's we're picking up 3 points every now and again, but it's against the worst of teams. So I think when we come up against the good teams, we'll be struggling a bit. But yeah, I can't really say much more about it. It was a good day out. Trains were shit, but yeah, yeah, we'll carry on up the blades.
Even when we win, United just still have that way of making us feel uneasy, don't they? That was a very difficult last 15 minutes to watch, and I've not seen a derby game, if you want to call it that, against Barnsley, victory with the majority of fans, from what I've at least seen on social media and those that I've spoken to, that are left frustrated even after winning. The first half was one of the worst halves of football I've watched in a very long time. Both teams really poor, couldn't get a rhythm going. Mousse had a decent chance, they didn't really offer anything. And it just, yeah, it felt, I was wanting half time to come after about 10-15 minutes. Cause, it was sluggish, it was poor. I had a shower during the first half when I had it on my laptop. I just got bored. I saw it in the background, but I just knew nothing was going to happen. And then the second half came around, we started really quickly, and Mousse, this is what we can expect from him at his best, and fit and across as many fingers, toes as possible, touch as much wood as possible, not like that, just to make sure that Mousse stays fixed. I think if he does, he's going to be our most important striker this season. The explosion of pace and power, that just bit of quality, just take it on his instep and just think, right, I can bend this into the far corner, and he did brilliantly. Made a great run for his second as well. Osborne found him really well to capitalise on some poor defending. And then, yeah, you get the third with Osborne getting his deserved goal, and you just think, easy street, we've battered a crap team away from home, move on. But we have to do us, don't we? We have to make us worry, concede too late on. First goal, to be fair, I can't really put any fault anywhere. Duarte Cole absolutely buried that top corner. Second one's so annoying. Just kick him, just give it, just not kick him, he's in the box, but just tackle him. It just seems like such a simple, frustrating thing. And we're left the game frustrated despite winning. But either way, it is 3 points. We're going to have to figure out sooner or later how to see out games. And I know Jokanovic is a very gung-ho manager, but we need to figure out how to see out games, because we've not got a strong enough side to play that style and get points consistently. How we're 3 points off fifth, I'll never know. But we won, and that's probably what I should be focusing on more. Let's move on. Let's hope we can get another 3 points to the weekend. Go on, Blades.
Ever resurgent Lys Mousse bags a brace against Barnsley in the South Yorkshire derby. Sheffield United 3, Barnsley 2. What my thoughts and feelings following that game, well, I've had a couple of days to digest the performance and the fixture, and to be honest, my opinion hasn't changed. I think the most worrying thing you can say about that first half performance in particular is that at times we didn't look much better than Barnsley. I mean, they're basically the de facto bottom team in the league because of Derby's points deduction, and for large swathes of not just the first half, but times in the second half, it looked like we could be down there with them, and that's the main worry for me. Just to break down just individual points in the first half. Again, absolutely no creativity, just a real lethargy. I keep saying this and I feel like I'm coming on these reviews and constantly repeating myself, but I don't feel bad about doing so because the points still stand. We look lethargic, we're slow, passing it around at the back, which I'm for. Don't get me wrong, I'm for the build up because you just can't lump it forward. That's not how it works, especially when you've not got, you know, necessarily a focal point up front. When we're playing games as sharp up front, you just can't lump it up front. It doesn't work like that. But to be honest, passing it around the back is not the issue for me. We just need to be quicker with it. We need to be more incisive and a little bit more dynamic and show a bit more urgency. That's all I'm asking for. Because before the game I was slightly worried, because although Barnsley come into this fixture on terrible form, typically Barnsley over the last few years have been a pressing team, and if we get pressed we struggle because we haven't got that urgency or that intensity or that person who can seemingly unlock the press and get us out and up the pitch. So before the game I was really quite concerned that they might pose some more problems, but we get into half time. And to be honest, I was glad for the break because it was 45 minutes of my life I'll never get back. That's me being honest. And then sort of 10-minute period in the second half totally changes the game around. A brilliant goal by Mousse, like I say, ever resurgent. I think he was probably up there for man of the match for me. Osborne grabbing a couple of assists and a goal. Again, if everybody else in the team matched his work rate, I think would be okay. Honestly, we played Stoke the other week and people were saying they were good. I don't think they were. I think we made them look good. I think they're okay. I think in any other championship season they're finishing nowhere near the playoffs. Obviously at the top of the table you've got Bournemouth, Fulham and West Brom. I think they're a class apart from everybody else, and you know, all the other teams are a much of a muchness. I mean, we've hardly had a good start to the season, but yet we're still sort of 5 points off the playoffs, quite amazingly. So I think that says it all.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
That's as far as it's going to go. Je voudrais le jambon. Yeah,
very good.
We're not going to get much further than that. I'm still not convinced. After the last time I did one of these, I tried to be French. If La Pirate is French for pirate, but
got another stripy top on though.
Yeah, it's sort of a Sheffield United French this time, isn't it? But yeah, La Pirate est très bon today.
It's a win. We've just done our podcast, after-match podcast, and we were our usual morbid self. But it was a less than convincing win. I think if we'd run out 3-0 winners or even 3-1, 4-1, you'd have been, stepped it up after a dreadful first half for both sides. But it's a game we took away from Mousse, two good goals. Osborne scores a good goal, but hanging on at the end.
Yeah, I think the word we used multiple times throughout the podcast was unconvincing, and it is. It's a win, but I remain unconvinced. Basically, it's just the plan doesn't seem to be there. Doesn't seem to quite click. It's like he's pinning all his hopes on the formation on Gibbs White, so he shuffled it up today. Didn't look any better. Didn't look any worse. But aside from a quarter-hour period where we looked like we were going to score every time we attacked after the second half, it just unconvincing for me.
Yeah, the first half was a non-event for both teams. They're just two teams out of form, out of confidence, giving the ball away, a couple of half chances, but pretty much nothing happened. And the second half, we played at a better tempo, we got it forward. Mousse had been the main threat first half with a few runs down the sides and scored an excellent goal. where he comes inside, looked like Thierry Henry in his pomp.
Very much so, yeah. Just brilliant goal, really. I thought the chance had gone, and yeah, as you say, channeling his countrymen a bit, and yeah, within 2 or 3 minutes, because like all of our games in the past few weeks seem to have been won or lost within a 2 or 3 minute period. I thought we'd put it sort of out of their reach because they looked like doing nothing, and yeah, just good stuff from Osborne again. Sort of picked out his man, brilliant cross into the middle, and he tried to miss. He tried to do a McGoldrick, didn't he? But yeah, he looked hungry today, didn't he, Moose? Yeah, too easy.
But yeah, even after the 2-0, they did have chances. But at that point, it were like, just shut up shop now. We've kind of just keep it nice and solid. But we kept attacking, which was great. We had lots more chances. But then they had loads of chances as well. And it's like, they're going to get one in a minute. They did the post, missed one, a sitter right in front of goal. Obviously, we'd had chances at the other end. And then they scored a goal. And actually, we made it 3-0. I've forgotten the score sequence. Osborne with a really good finish, patient finish after pull back from Baldock. And that's it. It's game over, 3-0. They're asking for the manager to be sacked. They're streaming out. Just see the game out. Nice and convincing. Not an amazing performance, but we've done enough for a 15-20 minute spell. Or we could do what we did.
Yeah, which is what we did. Which is what we almost expect these days, isn't it? That we've got to give teams chances. We seem to always, because I thought, well, we've done it. We've cracked it this time. Yeah, it'd been a bit end-to-end at times, but we've not given them any real sort of, we've shut up shop now. We've given them a lot of chances, but we've not conceded. This is it. Just see it out. 3-0, the Reds will drop. Dead easy. No. I mean, no. Instead, we're just weak defended and...
Yeah. Just walking through us on both goals. And they'd had other chances. Like, we're just dribbling through us, walking through us, no challenge. We're sitting back deep. We started just kicking the ball away. We'd been, playing it up front with pace and getting runners onto it. I think Musa going off didn't help. Didn't have that outlet anymore. And it was just really sloppy, really careless. They got a good goal, but again avoidable. And then the second goal, he just danced through our defenders who would just let him in. And at that point, 83, 84 minutes. 3-2. I was like, I'll be more surprised if we hang on at this point.
Yeah, I mean, like you hit the nail on there. They were just shepherding him through. It was more like watching Strictly Come Dancing. They were just sort of dancing around us, and ours weren't putting up any sort of challenge. They were just sort of turning their backs on him and pirouetting, I think is the word, Le Pirouette. But yeah, I'm with you. Once it got to 3-2, I thought this is it. It's panic stations now. All they need is another chance, a long ball into the area, whatever, and we've lost this. Not lost, drawn. I don't even know what happened. But luckily, they went a bit like us, and then just nothing happened. It fizzled out.
Yeah, we sort of saw it out, but it wasn't through any kind of clever play or professional kind of possession-based football. It would just they just ran out of minutes in the end. I think if they had been a little bit longer, if they just scored a little bit before, I think they would have got back in it. Our heads had dropped. We weren't trying to keep the ball, so we win the game. But I'm not convinced. Despite the 3 goals and some impressive stuff for that spell, I'm not coming away from that thinking, oh, we're on a run here now. We're going back up the league. I just see us the same as side as what I saw before the game. That's probably going to win a couple, lose a couple, and repeat that for the rest of the season.
Yep. We look like a mid-table team at the minute, don't we? And well, that's what we are. We're a mid-table team. We're beating those below us. We're losing to those above us, and we're picking up odd point or win here and there with those around us. It's proper, just bog standard mid-table, not quite clicking. Don't have a proper game plan. Bumbling through the season at the minute.
But it's a win.
But a win's a win. Yeah, got to be happy with that, even though we're not.
Sunday, a good South Yorkshire derby, to be fair. 3-0 up, we shouldn't have been worrying at all. But we did. We panicked. We couldn't get hold of the ball for about 20 minutes, something like that. That can't keep happening. In a game like that, we probably got away with that. but in other games against better opposition, we would have come away with a point, no doubt at all, no doubt at all. And the players have got to realise that, you know, 3-0 up, game's won. In anybody's eyes, game's won. And it's about managing the rest of the match, you know, getting over the line. We aren't panicking, we aren't letting in 2 stupid goals. But it is a derby. All can happen in a derby, obviously, so we've seen 3 points is 3 points. We move on to Saturday. Don't know, Blackpool are on a good roll, you know, on a good roll at the moment. We'll see.
Well, it was an eventful game, wasn't it? Look, first off, I've got to say Barnsley were the worst team I've seen this season. And there's been some poor teams, but Barnsley were awful. So we just have to step it up a bit, which we did. I mean, beginning of the second half, we're good. Played some decent stuff. Scored 3, could have had more. But we can't defend. We just cannot defend. If a team as poor as that scores 2 and could have had more, if we'd have thrown that away. But I'm not confident in that defence. We can't play a 4. We're going to have to score 3 goals every game to win, I think, because there's just goals in every team we play. So even though it's a victory, everybody's happy about that, and people look at league table and say, oh, we're only 3 points behind playoffs. That's because there's some shit in this league. We need to just sort ourselves out. We're not going to buy any players in January. So people say, oh, when Slav gets his players in, we're not going to get nobody in January. Where's money going to come from? We've got 1 loan left, is it? We've got to sort out this defence. Quick. Oh well, move on to Blackpool.